Today we've got two cases from Supcase for the iPhone 17 Pro Max in for review. First is the Unicorn Beetle Grip and second is the Unicorn Beetle Grip Pro. Massive thank you to Supcase for sending these out for review. Whilst they were sent free of charge, they have no input into my review. If they're good, I will let you know. If they're not, if you've seen any of my other case reviews, you know I won't be pulling any punches. On the flip side, they were gracious enough to provide me with a 10% discount code. If you like the case and decide to buy one, if you use the link in the description and the discount code Neil Shah, you'll get 10% off and you'll also help support the channel. So thank you. So starting with the Unicorn Beetle, the non-pro version. The Unicorn Beetle Grip comes with a lightly frosted back, so you can see the color of your iPhone, but it's not completely clear, so you aren't going to see all the grease and smudges that you would normally associate with clear cases. This is the coral color, which has nice splashes of orange around the case, which match very nicely to the cosmic orange iPhone 17 Pro Max, or just the cosmic orange on the Pro models this year. The camera plateau is completely covered with precise cutouts for the lenses, the flash and the LiDAR and the mic. So if you're worried about scratching, the aluminium camera plateau is fully covered. You don't need to worry. You've also got a thick rubberized surround that will help with impact protection. You've got a color matched Magsafe ring here also that doubles as a stand and a makeshift grip. The hinge on this feels really great and has got a really good amount of damping, so when you bring the stand back towards the case, it just kind of snaps itself back into place. It's a very sturdy feeling, it's really good. You've got color matched buttons on the side, the action button, the volume control buttons and the power button, side button, and you've got the camera control button, which is covered by a conductive strip, and we will check how the responsiveness of that is in a bit. On the sides of the case, you've got massively oversized and chunky corners with air pockets on the inside, just over here. Some air pockets in there and the really chunky side corners there. So these will provide an additional amount of drop protection, and they've even got some carbon fiber detailing around the edges, which does sort of go very nicely with the style of the case. There are also grip strips all along the sides of the case, which do help a lot with keeping the phone in your hand. It is really great for, just keeping that secure feeling while you're holding the case. At the bottom, you've got cutouts for the speakers, some lanyard holes, and a covered USB-C port. As someone who rarely ever uses the USB-C port, I don't mind this added bit of protection. It just stops from dust being into there. So let's put the phone into the case. Putting it in, you get a very satisfying snap. The sides of the case are rigid, so your phone shouldn't come flying out. And this case is rated to 15 feet or 4.5 meters of drop protection, having passed military standard 810H 516.8. I have no idea what that means specifically, but it sounds impressive. The 15-foot drop protection, though, is nothing to sneeze at. You've got a substantial lip around the screen, so your phone will be protected if you put it face down. I don't have one now, but even if you've got a tempered glass screen protector on here, you've got enough lip that you won't be putting your screen protector directly on the surface. I like this. I found a lot of manufacturers are going with thinner lips these days, meaning that if you've got a tempered glass screen protector, you're often putting your phone down on the protector rather than the edges of the case. Now let's quickly test out the camera control button. It's very responsive here, going in and out, and very quick to press as well, and none of these taps are getting not registered. The stand also works very well, allowing you to prop your phone up in portrait or landscape orientation, however you should wish to do that. So on to the positives. What is really surprising about this case is just how slim it actually is. For such a high amount of protection, this case is very, very thin. The case doesn't feel bulky at all. It's got minimal thickness, and I think the decision to oversize the corners and keep the rest of the sides quite slim works really, really well here. You've got a good amount of grip with these grip strips, which for this giant iPhone 17 Pro Max is very, very good. The camera protection is excellent, yet it still keeps the area frosted so you can see that lovely orange of your phone. I also know it's quite subjective and everyone's going to have their own opinion on this, but I quite like the design. It's a rugged, hardy case and it isn't trying to hide that in any way at all. The Magsafe strength is also very, very strong, has no issues picking up this anchor base, and I've also had no issues in the car with this as well. Nothing's fallen off at all. The case is also super light, so isn't adding much to the bulk of the phone or at all, especially because it's quite a heavy phone. Heaviest iPhone ever, I think. I only really have one negative though, and to be honest, it's not really a negative, and more of this could just be a little bit better, and that is the kickstand. Because of the shape of the kickstand, when you've got the phone propped up in landscape orientation, you could do with a little bit more angle, almost sort of propping the phone up a little bit more of an angle. And I think it's basically just because of this corner here, which could do with actually just being a bit more rounder, and that would be fine. Also, others might think that this is a bit of an ugly case. It's quite subjective. People are going to, honestly have differing opinions on how things look. I quite like it. Some people won't. It's just the way that it is. Now, before I go on to the Pro, I just wanted to thank you for watching up to now. And don't forget to subscribe and use my links to get 10% off if you're thinking of buying the case. The Pro version of the case is very similar to the regular Unicorn Beetle, but it dials the protection up to 11. Drop protection is now claimed to be up to 20 feet, which is just nuts. What you also get is a built-in screen protector. Now, I was a bit skeptical as to whether this would be good, as with a screen protector that you physically stick to your screen, and whether there would be any loss of responsiveness with this not being one that you actually stick down, and I'm glad to report I haven't noticed any. It basically impacts the display in the same way that any regular tempered glass screen protector would, which is to say that touch response isn't impaired, but as with almost all screen protectors, you'll notice the tiniest drop in clarity versus the naked screen. Now, you can't use a screen protector under this case because it has a frame that you snap onto the front of a naked phone. So make sure your screen and the back of the tempered glass frame are free of smudges and debris, and then that frame then clips onto the phone basically. This does make the Pro version a couple of millimeters wider than the standard version, this being the Pro. It's a couple of millimeters wider than the standard version of the case. So it is a little bit thicker. You can see it just peeking out over the top there, I think. Yep. But you are definitely getting a lot more protection with the Pro version of the case. The buttons are still nice and clicky, but they aren't floating metallic buttons now, rather they are built into the case now. For me, for the first time, I'm going screen protector free on the iPhone 17 Pro Max. I'm officially drinking the Ceramic Shield 2 Kool-Aid. But if I was going to the beach, for example, where sand would scratch the hell out of the screen regardless, putting this case on would give me the peace of mind that I'm not going to be scratching up my phone. For me, it's a touch too wide for daily use, where I want to be using the phone with one hand. Those of you with larger hands will find it okay. So, there you go. Two great cases from Supcase. I have a feeling the regular version is going to be spending a good chunk of time on my phone over the next year. Hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe to see more of me. I've still got lots of case videos, reviews coming up, and videos in the Apple Watch Ultra 3, the AirPods Pro 3, where are they? They're not here. And these lots more videos lined up. So make sure you subscribe to get notified when those land. And also, if you like the case and you choose to buy one, don't forget to use my links and the code Neil Shah to get 10% off and help support the channel. Thank you.